Hello and welcome back to the Wrestling Group. I'm your host, as always, Ryan, and today I am joined by my good friend and fellow admin of the Wrestling Group Facebook page, Lee Parkinson.
Happening, people.
So today we're going to be going through what?
They're glad to be here, lad.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. To be fair, when we started the Wrestling Group, God, what was it? About 8-9 years ago, something like that. Now,
that long?
It's been
about 6 or something, lad. Is it 9? Yeah.
I think it's about 8 years,
Mad.
And when we started doing it first, we were doing videos, weren't we, and just posting them to the group, and it was always me and you, wasn't it? So
I was always just coming to yours. We were pretty much having to hug together in the camera, lad, but we got it done.
Yeah, it was on my little tablet, wasn't it? I remember that. Yeah, so at least doing it this way, I haven't got to sit on your knee anymore.
No, that's it, lad. Give me an ear break.
So today we're going to be going through top 5 Royal Rumble matches in the history of the WWE. But obviously, as there are so many for us to look at and get through, we've decided to each pick an honourable mention as well. So I think that's where we should start. So, Lee, tell us what your honourable mention is and why did you choose it?
See, for me, lad, I went with not a random one, but it's probably one that a lot of people won't see as a good one. But it was the 2020 Royal Rumble. That was where Brock Lesnar, purely just because Brock Lesnar entered in at number 1 and just went on a rampage. It brought you back to when you were playing on the SmackDown versus Raw and you were trying your best to get everyone out. You know what I mean? Obviously, he got to the point where he got too much for him. He ended up getting taken. I can't remember who got taken out by. Was it Drew?
Yeah, was this when he was the WWE champion going in?
What was that, sorry?
Was this when he was WWE champion going into the match?
Yeah. He just turned around and said he wanted to be number 1, so he just went, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, because then Paul kept chucking him the belt, didn't he?
Yeah, and then it was funny because you had Elias as number 2 and he was walking to the ring just playing. You could see he couldn't be arsed going in there.
Yeah, it was a good Rumble. 2020.
I enjoyed that one, to be fair. I feel like a lot of the new ones now get looked over because of how predictable they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was that the Edge return one?
I think so. It was 2020 or 2021 with him, wasn't it?
2020.
The best moment, but
I think 2020 was his return, yeah, because it was just before the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, really, yeah. Yeah, no, that's right, yeah.
It was by the time they got to WrestleMania, it was Pandemic Mania, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because Drew won, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, Drew won, yeah.
And obviously, that's why he's so pissed off now, because he never got his actual Mania moments in front of a crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I actually read Drew McIntyre's autobiography, and he actually says it's mad because obviously it was back when everyone was recording stuff. So they were recording the events and then it wasn't being shown. So WrestleMania was recorded and then it was shown 2 weeks later. So he had the WWE Championship in his wardrobe for 2 weeks.
Before he could even do anything with it.
Before he could get it out.
It takes away from it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's mad though, because he's the only person that could technically watch himself win the Royal Rumble at the same time as everyone else did.
Yeah. And then he can actually see their reactions as he's doing it, as it's going down as well. I suppose there's pros and cons to it, but I'd rather be in front of a crowd myself live as well.
Yeah, defo. So that I've gone for 2016. There's no surprise when we were talking about it the other day in the chat. It's the Rumble where the WWE Championship was on the line. It was the one versus all. Roman Reigns was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion at the time, and what were they called? The Authority.
Oh, the Authority. I thought didn't they use them to get to him or something as well? The League of Nations was there, or?
Yeah, League of Nations, yeah. But the Authority was desperate to try and get the belt off him, so they made him defend it against 29 other guys. And obviously AJ Styles debuting at number 3.
I was boss because we met him a few weeks beforehand as well, didn't we?
Yeah. That was a 5-star.
Yeah.
What a great company.
Fucking hell. Hey, to be fair though, we slaked them, but they put a fucking card on that night.
They did, yeah. There was a good show, to be fair.
The amount of names that was there: Styles, John Morrison, Jay Lethal, fucking Magnus, Rey Mysterio,
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, although the company was terrible, in the way they ran it and stuff, like I won't never out and out slate them, because without them I wouldn't have met all these top
No, of
guys.
course, that's it.
So obviously Triple H then won this, last eliminating Dean Ambrose. Remember when Roman was thrown out, and then everyone then expected Ambrose to win, and then Triple H won it, and everyone sort of like, hang on a minute, he was starting to take that.
Everyone was after you.
Yeah, he was starting to take that CEO role then, wasn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone was like, hang on, what happens now?
Yeah, no, like I say, it was an interesting one, that one, to be fair. Like,
Yeah, so that's my honourable mention anyway. So
yeah, I'd say that's a good one, to be fair.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, Royal Rumble is still my favourite match type. It's still my favourite pay-per-view to watch. It's just, like you do say, a lot of the Royal Rumble matches, especially nowadays, are very predictable, which is a shame. And they don't
Like,
have
people's stories tend to be built around the match rather than the other way round.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
So you've got an idea, haven't you? Like, this year, you're gonna know if it's not CM Punk, it's Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Both of them are going for the belts at Mania. It's not like it should be, where it's like a Gunther or a Kevin Owens or someone like that winning.
No, well, that's it. Like, I'd like a Gunther to win, to be fair, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do nothing with him until he drops the IC, and I can't see him dropping that anytime soon, either.
Yeah, that's the problem, innit? He's had a fantastic reign, like. But so we'll look at our top five now then. So we'll go in and we'll start at number 5 and work our way down to number 1, and what we deem on the wrestling group to be the greatest Royal Rumble in history. So
Just
we'll start.
Clarify, in our opinions.
In our opinions, yeah. This is the official in our opinions.
Yeah. This is factually opinionated.
Exactly. It's like Dave Meltzer's 5 stars.
Yeah. Definitely.
Doesn't mean that.
If he can do it, we can.
So we'll start number 5, and that is the 2001 Royal Rumble match. They had an attendance of 17,137. The runtime for the actual match was 1 hour and 1 minute and 52 seconds. We had number 1 and number 2 coming in as Jeff Hardy and Bull Buchanan. Bull Buchanan.
Who the fuck's that? Yeah, like I am got the best memory with the old one.
Yeah.
But I was, there's big enough moments in there to throw it in the top 5 by far.
Yeah, so like with me, I was trying to think. See, 2001, I would have been 10.
Yeah, I was 5.
So, yeah, she didn't watch it live. Yeah, so I was 10 at the time. So I think this might actually be the first Royal Rumble match I watched, because when I was watching wrestling in the 90s, I was watching WCW. I wasn't watching WWF. So I think this might be the first one I watched.
No, I say it's I missed out on a good time there, though, me.
Yeah.
Like I say, look, I didn't start watching until like 2009, so I missed the boat by a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? Like, for a lot of the crap it gets, the WWE network is brilliant for people who obviously come in later on. You can just go back and watch whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Well, like I say, I did have the network for a while, a few years back, and then that was how I ended up watching a lot of them myself. Like, but I haven't got the best memory, so I'll have watched them all. But at the same time, it's remembering them all.
Yeah. It's remembering the big spots. Like you say, there's enough big moments in this. Obviously, for it to be included in our top 5. You know, you got like Big Show returning after 5 months at number 23. Obviously, Kane setting the most eliminations in a single Rumble at 11. You know, the only downside I'd probably say this was number 30, the reveal of number 30. It was always a thing, wasn't it, coming off? Number 30 was going to be the last guy, and it was Rikishi.
Yeah, no, not the most impressive one. Like,
I get why they did it, because it was just after he'd ran over Stone Cold with the car, and he'd done it for The Rock. But like it's a bit underwhelming, and Rikishi as a heel just never really went anywhere.
No. Yeah, no. Rikishi was more of someone who like you just watch for his dancing and just fucking slapping people with his ass.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's surprising to be honest. Like when you go back, Too Cool actually didn't run that long, but that's what everyone remembers Rikishi for.
Yeah, no, well, that's it. Like, say, like a lot of it. Like everyone tends to remember the funny side of things.
Yeah. So, like say, Kane set the record here for most eliminations in at 11, and was probably at the time when I remember watching it for the first time. He was probably the guy I was thinking, well, who's going to eliminate him? I just can't
Yeah.
see anyone taking Kane out.
It's a bit of a shame that he got 11 eliminations and still didn't win the thing, like, innit?
Well, it's shocking to me that he's never actually ever won one.
No, it's crazy, innit?
Yeah. I mean,
no, what? I was just going to follow on what you said.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm just made up. He's actually managed to win a Money in the Bank briefcase because he never got the Royal Rumble, and he's probably one of the people that everyone ties with the Royal Rumble when speaking of it.
Yeah, no, well, that's it. Like, he's, I think, the most appearances in a Rumble as well.
Yeah, most appearances.
Yeah, I remember seeing on the 2008 one that he was tied. Oh, 2010, sorry, he was tied with HBK on the appearances.
Yeah.
So obviously after that year, Kane would have still been going in. So.
Well, he also has the most eliminations racked up as a total. So, like, obviously, for years he had this overall. Yeah.
It's similar to Chris Jericho with Money in the Bank, I suppose. You know, obviously it was his idea, and he still never won one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like that. Like everyone looks to Kane when he mentioned the Royal Rumble, but he still never won one.
It's like Chris Jericho never won the Royal Rumble either, which is shocking. But we have
he made last 4 in 04, like, but
yeah. I think he did more than once. I think he did more than once actually. He had a good showing in the Greatest Royal Rumble, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, no, we skip over that one.
But eventually, the winner is Stone Cold, and he sets the record by winning his third Royal Rumble match. Still the only wrestler to ever win 3 Royal Rumble matches.
Yeah.
He last eliminated. Well, yeah, I mean, if we think about it now, how many people are on 2 Royal Rumble wins?
You got Triple H.
Orton, H. Cena, yeah. Yeah. Batista.
Yeah. Batista. What one did Batista win again? I know he won a recent. It wasn't too recent, but it was recent, wasn't it?
He won
2014. Yeah, he won the one for WrestleMania 30, didn't he?
Yeah.
When Brian won at Mania.
Yeah, Blue Batista. Remember, he got ripped for it everywhere, didn't he? And he won the original one where him and John Cena both go over the ropes at the same time in 2005.
And fucking Vince fucks his legs up for him.
Yeah. So actively, there's Randy Orton. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, actively, yeah. Orton's probably the only one who can come close to it.
Who's likely to do it?
Yeah. Although if Cody wins this year, then you never know.
If Cody wins this year and then wins again next year, he'd be like the Carter of WWE, where he's just winning Royal Rumbles back to back, like what Carter was doing with the G1s for like 4 years.
He'd have one over on Stone Cold, because he'd be the first person to win 3 back to back.
Yeah, I think is it Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels? Are they the only ones that have 2 back to backs?
I think so, yeah.
So in this one, we had Kane lasting the longest at 53 minutes and 46 seconds. Obviously, like we say, eliminating 11. And the run time of the actual Rumble match itself was 1 hour and 1 minute 52 seconds, and he lasted 53:46 of them. So there was only how many minutes? Not many. What was it, like 7 minutes?
Left over. 8 minutes left over. What number did he enter at?
God, I knew you'd ask me that. I never actually put it down. It was early doors.
Well,
if I remember,
I was going to say he must have been the early number if he's in for that long.
If I remember right, he was 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Because I think Drew Carey come in at like number 6 and he eliminated them. So, I mean, what do they normally say? It is 90 seconds, don't they? So yeah, about number 5, I'd say. So he had a good show. He had a good show. But yeah, so that is on number 5, and that is the Royal Rumble 2001. So we'll move on to number 4, which is the Royal Rumble of 2008, with an attendance of 20,798 and a runtime of this Royal Rumble match being 51 minutes and 25 seconds. So, quite a bit shorter than the one that we had previous.
It was a shorter one, like, but I feel like they had a lot more. Yeah, they had very good moments in there to make up for that, though. A lot of big names, good legends, and stuff like that were brought in as well.
Yeah, see, for me, like having Undertaker and Shawn Michaels starting off when they'd been the last 2 in the year before, and it showed you straight away, wow, this is going to be one worth taking note of. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Like, I mean, it started off with HBK and Taker. It ended with it was Batista, Orton. No, it was Batista, Triple H, and Cena, weren't it? In the last 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that just shows how big that Rumble was that year as well. Then you had like I think Mick Foley made a return there, didn't he? Then you also had Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah,
the legends come back and that, like, they all got good reactions and that.
Yeah, I mean, we say about the big names, and then you get number 3 is Santino Marella, and number 4 was the great Khali.
Of course, don't get me wrong. Like, you've got to balance it out. Like, you can't just have big names in there. Got to have some comedic relief.
They were just used as more of so Shawn and Taker could take them out and then carry on with their match between them again.
It was more just to build their story together, really.
Do you remember?
Obviously, biggest moments in there being the Cena return.
Yes.
Obviously, he weren't meant to be back so soon, was he? So to get that kind of reaction as well was crazy.
Yeah, so he'd originally been stated that he was going to be out for 6 months, so he'd have been out past WrestleMania, and he come back in 3 months, and the crowd went insane. I think this one wasn't this the one at Madison Square Garden?
It was.
The scream right by the ring.
It's always got the deadest stage design going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously they make the more space for the people, so they have like the little tiny stage design, don't they?
Yeah,
I like it though, me really.
I like that you could see them coming out, but I also like the fact that you could see them slinking back in after they've been eliminated, because they had to keep moving that screen, and I just thought it was cool. Half the time I was watching that rather than what was going on in the ring. I just wanted to see how they were back.
A disappointing Rumble.
Pure fuming.
Go fucking give Vince a piece of the mind or whatever.
I think this in 2008 was the one with Hornswoggle coming out.
Hornswoggle comes in. He ends up going under the ring. I think he eliminates like Mark Henry or Kane or someone, doesn't he?
Does he actually officially ever get in the ring? I can't remember.
I don't think he doesn't get in the ring, but like I think someone's trying to get them out, and like he comes from under the ring and drags them.
Yeah, he helps them pull him down, doesn't he?
And then someone drags him into the ring, and then Finlay comes and saves him.
Yeah, that's it, because Finlay then isn't allowed to compete, I don't think, in the match, is he? He's not disqualified. Yeah, he comes and takes him off, because he was
wasn't Hornswoggle's never actually been eliminated, because he went under the rope. He didn't go over the rope, so he never actually got eliminated.
Yeah, but if he didn't actually get officially, did he go in the ring?
Yeah, because Mark Henry dragged him in.
Did he? Yeah.
I think so. Someone dragged him in anyway. I think someone dragged him in, but then Finlay came, fucked people up with this little shillelagh thing, and then climbed. I got out, but he went through the bottom rope, so he's actually still in there.
Dylan Postel is the winner of the Royal Rumble by default.
Yeah. So that's it, like, longest record.
Well, he come in at number 9, and then literally spent most of his time underneath the ring.
Yeah.
So
a bit of a terrible performance, like, but what you'd expect from someone his height.
Well, they done it 1 year afterwards, didn't he? Where John Cena and Hornswoggle ended up in the ring together, and they were eliminating people between them. They worked together for about 5-10 minutes, and they were eliminating wrestlers between them. Like, obviously Cena doing most of the work, and then Hornswoggle just helping him flip him over, and they were like this random team, and it was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, like I say, it's cool when you get like that's the good thing with Cena as well. He will do anything.
Yeah,
he'll do anything with anyone. You know, like, fucking obviously, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, mate. You get the comedy aspect in the Royal Rumbles as well, don't you?
Yeah, But like I say, it's good. Like I was saying earlier as well, it's good to have a bit of comedic relief. You know what
So,
I mean?
like we were saying, we had Undertaker and Shawn Michaels starting at 1 and 2. You have HBK actually eliminates the Undertaker at 32 minutes and 33 minutes into the match, and then we have Mr. Kennedy eliminating HBK on 32:39.
Yeah.
So, literally six
That was an
seconds
interesting
later.
one as well, Mr. Kennedy taking out HBK. Like,
Yeah.
he must have had big plans for him going into Mania, like looking to have him like do that.
Well,
Didn't
yeah,
he get cut just before Mania, or was it just after?
did he get which?
Didn't he get cut soon after that, Mr. Kennedy?
I can't remember what year he got cut, but he was also Money in the Bank winner, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He won it and never cashed in. 'Cause Edge took it off him.
Yeah. Edge beat him for it, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Was that the year before or the year after? I can't remember what year it was now.
Second year it was, wasn't it? Because the first year was all like Edge won it the first year, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
it was
then
2006.
you had Vince come out, give the announcement that he's cashing it in, and then the next year it was just a normal cashing.
Yeah. Yeah, because he done back to back, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably the surprise entrance then, I suppose, if you like, in this one was number 18 and 19, which was obviously Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
So, do you think
I
we're
love
going to
Roddy
get...
Piper, me.
I love Roddy. He's one of the best healers of all time. I never got Jimmy Snuka, though. I'll admit it.
Yeah. I was giving, like, obviously I've never really watched a lot of them. Like, the first real thing I seen of him was 2009 when Chris Jericho was basically going through his little legend killer phase, where he ended up having a 3-on-1 handicap, didn't he? But him, it was him, Roddy Piper, and Ricky Steamboat.
At Mania.
Yeah. And then got Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah, who now looks like as Chris Jericho does now.
Twins.
So, yeah, like I say, number 30, John Cena, returns 3 months early from injury and last eliminates Triple H to go on to WrestleMania. That is our number 4, Royal Rumble 2008. So we'll go on to the Royal Rumble 2010 in at number 3, attendance of 16,697, a runtime again even lower of 49 minutes and 24 seconds. And in this one, we have number 1 and number 2 being Dolph Ziggler and Evan Bourne, both no longer with the company.
Absolute stars there.
Star-studded in Dolph Ziggler, who now works for TNA and New Japan, and Matt Sydal, who used to be Evan Bourne in the WWE, who works for AEW.
Been everywhere, really, Annie.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of them guys. Go on.
I rated him when he was there, me. Like I say, I thought Evan Bourne was great.
I feel like his timing in WWE was wrong, because around this time, they no longer really had a cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
I think he'd have been brilliant in the cruiserweight division, but they no longer had one. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Like I say, yeah. If he was to turn up to WWE, I'd say, if he was to enter in the Cruiserweight Classic, I think it would have made a bigger difference for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because obviously at that time, like, the Cruiserweight division's booming. Would have been perfect for him.
Biggest highlight, though, was getting RKO'd.
True, yeah. Yeah, off the moonsault, isn't it?
He goes for the
that's the one. He goes to the shooting star and then he gets hit with the RKO.
Yeah, airborne he called it, wasn't it? His finish, airborne, yeah, shooting star best RKO. It's one of the most perfect RKOs, to be fair. Number 3, CM Punk comes out, eliminates both of them, and starts cutting straight edge society promos in the ring. Did you love it?
Yeah, I just thought, mate, you can't get any more disrespectful than eliminating people and then just chatting shit in the ring.
Well,
and then JTG comes out, thinks he's going to do something, gets eliminated, and then he just goes, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted, and then carries on.
I was going to say that this was one of your big reasons for having this in the top 5, wasn't it?
Not so much that, like it was that, like, the Edge return, the importance of HBK winning the match and stuff like that. Like, because obviously he was so hell bent on Undertaker, wasn't he, at that time?
That was
And
such a good story.
You had that. Even just small things like R-Truth taking out Mark Henry and Big Show in one. You know what I mean? It's just like you had moments. Oh, what's happened?
There you go. Yeah, back.
Yeah, we're back.
You're all good.
But yeah, no, I say, the one thing I noticed with this one is that there was no legends in this one. It was all just current superstars, and like there was. I'd argue the year before was a lot, like 2009 and 2008 were a lot bigger in terms of name value and stuff like that. But I think there's had more shocking moments too.
Yeah. I mean, we had.
Also, this was also Drew McIntyre's first Rumble.
Was it?
Yeah,
Wow.
pointless little detail, like, but it's happened again. 1 second.
Buy yourself a stand.
A lad, it's on a stand. The stand's terrible. I use it as a fidget spinner. But anyway, yeah, I think it's crazy how different Drew looked as well back then to what he does now.
It's nuts, isn't it?
He was such a baby back then when you look at him now.
Yeah, he hit puberty big time, didn't he?
Yeah, not his glow up in TNA was amazing.
Yeah, he was superb. Drew Galloway. He done ICW, didn't he? Won the title there, and then went over to TNA and become a mega hitter there too. Enough for WWE to bring him back. I always forget he went into NXT on his way back in. I always forget that.
Yeah, he did. I don't forget that. As I say, at that point, I was a big NXT fan, like, so I was made up when he came back.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Like, but also don't forget we had Beth Phoenix come out in this one at number 6. She became only the second woman to appear in a Royal Rumble, second to Chyna.
I didn't know if Chyna had been in it or not, so I didn't want to say anything about being the first or second. I figured I'd leave that one to someone who knows more about the Rumbles.
And don't forget, she eliminates the Great Khali by kissing him and dragging him over the ropes.
The kiss of death, man. The kiss of death.
Takes out the biggest guy there.
Like, I'll be fair, I really enjoyed this Rumble as well. Because like, at this point in time, I just started getting properly into WWE, and that's the point where I was paying for the pay. Like, I weren't paying, but my mum and dad were paying for the pay-per-views for them and that. I was staying up all night for them, and like I say, it was peak for me. It was peak wrestling for me. I loved it.
So like, when about did you come into it? Like 2009, 2010, then, yeah?
Yeah, it was the Survivor Series before Mania 25.
What year was Mania 25? What are we on now? Is Mania 40? About 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2009.
2009, yeah. So literally
2008, but it went into 2009. That was when Mania 25 was.
This would have been about your second Royal Rumble then?
Would have been, yeah. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, I think... and then obviously, I at this point, I didn't like Edge.
No.
But his return was quality.
Wasn't an Edge head?
No, well, at that time, like, I was obviously so hell bent on the good and bad side of things that I just genuinely didn't like him, which is a good thing, really.
I was doing the job. Always for the villains, always. Yeah. I always prefer the bad guys. I like the sneaky buggers. I like the ones that...
No, of course. See, I'm not even going to lie, though. I believed it was real back at that point.
Yeah, I mean, everyone did at some point.
I probably still believe the Father Christmas at that point or whatever as well. You know what I mean? So it's one of them.
It's one of them, though, isn't it? Everyone did at some point. And do you know what? Like, that's one thing I do actually miss. Like, if you look at the way it is now, everyone scrutinizes, and we do it. I do it myself, especially doing the YouTube channel. We do it on the group on Facebook a lot of times. Scrutinize, we pick apart, and we look at every little detail because we want to be shocked, and it's hard to be shocked in something that's been going forever.
The internet's doing that.
It is. The internet does do it. To be fair, there is some good on the internet. There's also some bad. I mean, without the internet, most of us wouldn't have known who New Japan was. Most of us wouldn't have known.
That's true, like, definitely.
You know, that No is a thing, ICW and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like you said, though, it's taking the magic away from the actual... It's all about the talent now, not the character.
Yeah, I mean, the
characters can work and stuff like that, but if you're not a good worker, people won't pay attention to you no more.
Yeah, you've got to care.
Yeah.
That's the thing, innit? So, I really enjoyed the moments watching wrestling as a family. We watch it together with the kids. It used to always be obviously WE, and now obviously we watch AEW. But
Yeah.
like with me lad, obviously he doesn't have the understanding of what a 15-year-old
No.
does. So he enjoys, like, especially with Royal Rumble, he enjoys the music side of it, and the fact that the music's going off every 2 minutes, he thinks it's
It keeps
fantastic.
him interested and stuff like that. Like,
Really enjoys it. But like our Annie, she believes everything that she watches on TV is real. Like, we recently watched the AEW pay-per-view where MJF loses the belt and Adam Cole is revealed as the devil. Now, everyone in a million years seen that coming, but a 9-year-old was
but yeah,
absolutely
she hasn't got access
heartbroken.
to the same things we've got access to. You know what I mean? So she, like, to
Heartbroken,
her,
lad.
that's like what we were back in the day, and that's what
Yeah,
I miss.
yeah, yeah. She was heartbroken that Adam Cole turned on her best friend MJF, who she didn't like in the beginning, but then become to love because he teamed with Adam Cole. And then
Yeah.
Adam Cole turned on it, and mate, on the way to school for about 3 weeks, she kept saying she couldn't believe Adam Cole was the devil. She was absolutely heartbroken. But
But
that's
then
what I
that's
meant.
what you want, though. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
you don't want your kid being heartbroken, like, but you want your kid being invested and stuff like that.
yeah, of
You know what I
course.
mean? I
And,
feel
and
with being adults, you lose that magic. You
yeah,
lose, it's the same with a lot of things in life growing up. You know what I mean? You lose that like magic that once used to get you excited to things.
yeah. See, I feel like this is why, like, a lot of people probably look at the list and be like, well, oh, why have they picked these? Why have they picked them? Why haven't they put these in and that in? Well,
Yeah,
like, for me, like I say, my first Rumble, I reckon I watched was around 2001. Yours was around 2009. We're more invested in these because these ones we were watching live. Yes, there's other matches that may have been better to other people, but probably
yeah,
because they were watching them live in the 90s and the 80s, but we weren't.
yeah. No, that's it. That's what I mean. Like I say, we're going based on our time frames. You know what I mean? I could,
100%.
I could sit here now for the next week or so and watch every single Royal Rumble match in history. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It doesn't mean this list's going to be any different.
No, I don't believe it is because I've watched every Royal Rumble and things that people hold dear to them is because of how old they were and what they believed at the time of
Yeah,
watching it. And I fully
nostalgia
believe it.
plays a big part in it all as well. Very.
Massively, massively. With a tear in my eye. Anyway. So we'll get back to this one. The Which one were we up to?
2010.
2010. 2010, number three. So yeah, we had obviously, like say, Shawn Michaels coming in at number 18, trying his best to get a rematch with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. We
He
had
was that
Edge come.
desperate. He took out Triple H,
Yes, yeah,
the
forgot
tag team
about that. Yes,
partner at the time.
because they worked together. Well, Triple H took out CM Punk straight Edge, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who had 5 eliminations at the time. He's someone I expected to go on and do big things, but
At that point in time, like I thought he would have, because he was like he was a bad heel at the time. No, not a bad heel. Sorry, he was a big heel because
yeah,
he just got Jeff Hardy fired and all stuff like that with the steel cage match. Everyone hated him because he was basically doing what Daniel Bryan was doing with the
yeah.
whole like save the world stuff. He was like basically saying, you know, live a clean life and all stuff like this and that. But it's
Champion.
all about how you go about it, isn't it?
I love the Planet's Champion. What he was saying was so right. It's like we need to start looking at the planet and
Yeah.
everything else, but just no one wanted to hear it.
And then like, that is the thing with people. Like people don't want
and,
to read it nowadays, especially if you don't like the person.
and the way he delivered it was just fantastic. Impotent change. Love that.
Yeah, going back to the 2020 though, 2020, 2010.
2020.
Yeah, they had the final four of HBK, Edge, Batista, and Cena.
That's massive.
But yeah, that's a big final four that as well. And I say then obviously you had Batista taking out Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels comes in and does sweet chin music to everyone because he can't accept he's been eliminated.
How sad was that elimination when he actually goes
Oh
out
mate,
to the floor, mate? That proper gets you. It's one of the very few eliminations in a
it was the
rumble
way
where you go,
Batista
oh,
come out as well though. It made it seem like he was like he just completely went off script and started doing it because he was grabbing his hands, trying to take him off the rope and everything.
yeah, he was livid,
It
wasn't
was a
he?
proper act of desperacy to get him out of there. Like
Sold that so well and made you want the Undertaker Shawn Michaels
yeah,
that much more.
Well, that's it. Like, it got you so much more invested into the story and that. And then, like I say, and then Batista gets taken out by Cena, and then obviously Edge capitalizes on it all, as
Yeah,
always, still opportunist and stuff like that.
coming in at number 29 and eliminating John Cena for the win. It's not
Yeah,
not
and
a bad.
he also took Jericho out as well, which obviously set the seed for his Mania match.
Yeah. Well, we had John Cena, the longest running in this, at
Yeah,
27 minutes and 11 seconds. And we had Shawn Michaels with the most eliminations with 6. So not
nice.
as big as Kane, but still decent considering
Yeah,
like the match itself only lasted like say 49 minutes, just under 50 minutes, which is surprising that you can get 30 people in and out of a ring at that time.
crazy, innit? And still put a good show on.
Fantastic show.
You know what I mean?
But not as good as number 2. Quick segue into that then.
Yeah,
Number 2 Royal Rumble is the 2007 Royal Rumble, and the attendance for this one was 13,500. Probably is this the lowest attended for the ones that we've put in?
oh yeah,
With
that feels quite low. That for a Royal Rumble attendance, definitely.
Yeah, it's surprising to me when I looked it up, to be honest. The runtime on this one, though, was 56 minutes, 18 seconds, which puts it higher than the last 2 that we've picked.
Yeah.
And number 1 and 2 entrants are Ric Flair and Finlay, who were both in the 50s at this point.
Fucking hell. Yeah, no, I wasn't a big. I'll be fair. Ric Flair post 2000s, I was not a fan of.
No.
No, I just thought, mate, he's still going now. I thought he was too old back then.
He had this retirement match last
Just
year,
like,
the year before.
I don't know. I was never like. I came through wrestling through the games mainly. Like, I very rare to watch it, but I'd always play the games.
Yeah.
And yeah, every time, like with the Royal, like every time I do a Royal Rumble match and that, like every time, like, see, you got eliminated and you have to pick a random person. Every time I got Ric Flair as that random person, I just restart the Rumble.
Quit my game.
You know what I mean? Because his moveset was boring.
I'm
His
taking it back
moveset
to
was boring for
Blockbuster.
a kid. I found obviously for an adult, like, he's a very technical wrestler, isn't he?
Yeah.
So for like an adult, he's great. But for someone who's like a teenage kid and that, you just think, nah, I don't want nothing like that. I don't care about like
that's it.
technical
Like,
stuff. I just want good big moments, really.
my first introduction to him was obviously in WCW for a while, but
Yeah,
like my peak Ric Flair times was probably Evolution and then after.
yeah.
So he was sort of more the manager that wrestled for Evolution for me.
Well, yeah, like, a lot of the stuff I see was like through Evolution and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But
So we
like
have,
as a wrestler, like, as a manager, amazing. Like as
yeah,
that kind of role he played, he was amazing. But as like a singles wrestler, I don't know. I don't think he. I don't know. It's just obviously it's all opinion. I just didn't like him like that.
yeah. I mean, I enjoyed his role as being tag team partners with Batista because I feel like it got Batista over at a time when Batista
Yeah.
probably was struggling to get over.
Well,
And
Batista could do all the work, whilst Flair was doing all the talk. You know
character.
what I mean? Like it was like a brain and a brawn kind of situation, really, wasn't it?
Flair had the character, didn't he? And Batista lacked it.
He had the character, he had the experience. You know what I mean? He knew everything about the business and all that. Batista was young, just coming through. So like it
Yeah.
was a good dynamic.
So we have in this one as well ECW again involved. Obviously WWE's version of ECW with number 6 and number 7 being Tommy Dreamer and Sabu. Sabu setting up the table on the outside of the ring, only to be later chokeslammed by King.
Talk about setting up your own demise, eh?
I feel like that happens a lot in wrestling.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't get disqualified because they're the ones that set up the table that day later to then go through. And it's like,
crazy because they had all, one thing I noticed with that as well is that they had the tables and they had the chairs and all that getting brought in during the match. Finley couldn't even get into the ring with a shillelagh. He was trying, like, they were taking a shillelagh off him before he was getting in the ring, and I'm like, well, how are you going to do that? But let Sabu bring a table in, you know what I mean?
Because you left it outside.
Why would that even be a problem anyway? It's not like there's anything pinfall. It's all elimination based. There's no disqualification.
It is a mad one, isn't it? It
So
is
what
a
I had to do,
strange. You got it on
yeah,
the
man,
background.
Logan Paul got eliminated by Cody.
Record number of wrestlers were used in this match to take out Viscera. Nine wrestlers were used to take Viscera out, and there's no surprise because he was huge.
He was a big boy in, mate.
Do you know who had the previous record? Back in 1994?
Yokozuna.
Viscera.
Yeah, fucking hell. Jesus
was,
Christ. I would have
was
thought it would have
7.
been Yokozuna at that point or something. I didn't even know he was going in 94.
Yeah, Viscera had been around forever, yeah. So he was eliminated by 7 guys in 1994. And then he'd obviously put on the weight and had to have 9 guys throw him out in 2007.
Fucking hell. That'll be the story of my funeral, that. I had to carry that by telly.
It was when he was wearing the what was it? It looked like silky pajamas, and then his finishing moves,
I
he
remember
used to
the
lie on
purple,
top of them.
purple thing, was it?
Yeah, and he used to.
Didn't he have like a white mohawk as well?
Yes, yeah.
He looked like a twat.
And then he used to lie on top of them, and then they'd sort of like go like that on the back to like beat them by elimination, by submissions somehow.
Fucking hell. Tap out,
So
gives him a relaxation, man.
so bad.
What a guy. What a guy.
What a
And he
legend.
changed his name to Big Daddy V.
Yes, and put on even more weight.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It is what it is, isn't it?
Let's have a look at some facts on this one. So the great
All right.
Carl Lee actually had the most eliminations in this match with 7. Yeah.
7 isn't bad, to be fair. How long did this one go on for again?
56 minutes and 18 seconds. And ECW's CM Punk lasted the longest at 27 minutes and 16 seconds. ECW CM Punk.
Yeah, because he was in that thing. You get the point, weren't he?
Because this was before, obviously, Straight Edge, just a couple of years before that. So,
yeah. Well, he got signed 2006, didn't he?
I think it was, yeah, because he was the champ.
Ring
Ring of Honor champ.
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he was the champion.
He went straight into the ECW, didn't he?
Yeah, they put him in ECW because he was going to be the big star. What's that?
I think he became ECW champion there. Lost it. I can't remember who he lost it to. It was Chavo.
Chavo was ECW champion, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was ECW champion. He actually beat CM Punk for it.
And then Chavo lost to Kane at WrestleMania in 18 seconds.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Kane being ECW was a mad one as well. But
yeah. ECW was just mad times. I'd like to do a
rewatch. It wasn't, you know what I do? When you look back on it, it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't original. It wasn't like the ECW you had back in the day.
It was terrible.
Like it was such a watered down product compared to the original.
When you have ECW and you have an ECW championship match, and then you have the champion being disqualified, then what's the point? Like, it's ECW. There's no.
That's it. Like, it's like having a Hell in a Cell match and disqualifying someone for using a hammer. What?
Hello, Seth Rollins. But Undertaker becoming the first guy to enter at number 30 and actually win the Royal Rumble match.
That's a crazy stat as well, because you'd think that 30 would be the most favourable number, wouldn't you?
Well, that's what they always had us believe. And then when they broke it down, it's like, oh, but no one's won at this. And it's like, so why is it favourite?
Well, common sense would imply that the last person to enter is the freshest and also would be the most advantageous of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're getting people like, if you look at some of the number 30s, you're getting people like John Cena, you're getting like Batista, like, they're all big names, and you'd think that they'd all win it from that spot.
Yeah.
So for Undertaker to be the first person to win it at 30 is actually a crazy stat. Especially how long it was as well.
Yeah.
2007, it took, like, you know, it was going since, what, 1996 or 94 or something?
88.
8, fucking hell. Shows my age. 88. So, yes, to go from it, so that's like, what? That's 19 years without someone doing it.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is strange one, but he last eliminated Shawn Michaels and they put on a clinic for the last, like, 5 to 10 minutes of the match, being the last 2 guys in it.
Giving us a taste of what was to come in the future years, man.
Yeah, I mean, at one point you're watching this, and then because they're doing like the mini match that they do and the hitting the finishes and the big moves and stuff. You
Yeah,
forget that to win it, they've actually got to throw someone over the top rope because you forget
yeah,
about
yeah.
that. You're just watching and invested in the match.
It was like one. In fact, actually, no. I was going to say something, but we'll save that for the next one because it's
Go
tied into the next one. But no,
on. Okay.
but yeah, no. It's like I say, it's sometimes you see them going for like submissions and stuff, and I'm just like, well, what's the point in that? Because then you got to pick up dead weight.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you
I
got to
get it
pick
when
up
it's on a if it's on a certain body part, like an ankle lock, then they're going to struggle with their foot then for the rest of the match. So I get that.
yeah.
But yeah, if you put someone in a sleeper and then you can't come out, then it's just more work for you, isn't it?
Well, that's it. The having to handle more dead weight and stuff like that, and it's just counterproductive. Another thing that I find counterproductive is one thing I've noticed with every rumble, they'll throw someone off, they'll stay in, but they'll just completely lose attention to them. Like
Yeah,
you'll throw them over, and then they'll just look away, like not like no, like there's no chance in the world he could have survived it.
yeah.
You
You
know
were
what I
dead close
mean?
to the ropes, but there's no way you held onto it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm standing right next to you, I can feel you breathing on me, but you fell off.
You can
You
hear
know
the
what I
car
mean?
go,
It's like,
way, and you're like,
yeah.
yeah, they want me to throw him out.
No, that's it.
That's
It's like
on the
obviously
back for
you see
me.
situations every now and then where they will follow up on it, but a lot of times like they're just so
I always love, and a lot of people criticize, but like, 'cause especially when there's so many people in the ring at one time, because a lot of time they let the ring build up as well.
yeah.
I always love when you can see when someone nearly goes over and someone has to like land on them and bring them back in. You know, it's not their time to go out yet. Like I've seen
Yeah,
Triple
yeah,
H do it a good few
yeah,
times because obviously he's well on the ball. Like someone's like half hanging over and then he just sort of goes past and leans on them and then punches them. And then you see people going, "Oh, why has he just stopped them being eliminated?" And it's like, yeah, because obviously they've got a big part to play later
yeah,
on
that's
and
it.
they weren't supposed to go over. So he just sort of puts the weight on them and then goes, "Oh, I'll hit you instead." And you're like,
Yeah.
you got to throw him out.
It's like I'm gonna think it's like that's like half one of the reasons as to why I didn't want to add the 2009 Rumble into here because more like fucking I was watching it. I remember watching it live and fucking Jerry Lawler basically gave away the winner.
Did he?
It was like what was it, Orton? Orton was close to getting eliminated, and he's like, and he took Jerry Lawler turns around and goes, "Orton's so close to being eliminated, and he's meant to win the thing."
Does he?
Yeah, yeah. If you have a little look back, if you ever want to look back on it, like you say, just type in fucking Jerry the King Lawler with that because like you can
I
hear
need
him
to
say
look at
like,
that.
and he's supposed to be the one to win it. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
kind of put a bit of a dampener on it.
That's boss that. I mean, that was around the time I took a break from wrestling, but I did go
Yeah.
back and rewatch it. But I'd imagine me rewatching it on the network and on the DVD that I had, they probably took that out.
Oh, more than likely, mate. But no, to be fair, that whole 2009 pay per view was amazing.
Yeah, there's some great pay-per-views. I'll have to do one where we look at the pay-per-views, not just the Royal Rumble matches.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely.
Because that'd be a good one. But so we are getting close to number one, so I'm going to run back down through five down to
Right.
two before we announce number one. So in at number five is the 2001 Royal Rumble, which was won by Stone Cold Steve Austin. At number four is the 2008 Royal Rumble, which was John Cena's return and winning, last eliminating Triple H. Number three is the 2010 Royal Rumble, which was won by Edge, eliminating John Cena. And then in at number two, just missing out on top spot, was the 2007 Royal Rumble, which The Undertaker won at number 30. So what could be number one? Well, for me, especially for me, because I was the one that pitched that it should go number one,
Well,
is the
I agree with this one anyway.
good. That helps. It's the 2004 Royal Rumble, the one Royal Rumble that WWE doesn't want you to think ever existed and
Yeah.
happened. The attendance for this one was 17,289 with a runtime of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 37 seconds. Number one is Chris Benoit, and number two was Evolution's Randy Orton.
Yeah, no, it was whilst this wasn't one that I watched live or nothing because I missed a boat with this, this is one that I've went back and I've watched and I've ended up watching multiple times.
Yeah, it's so good. Not even just for the fact that obviously Benoit becomes the second person to ever go from number 1 to 30, but like this for me was a massive making for Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You know, he wins
Oh,
Continental
definitely.
Champion at the time,
He
and
was so young. He'd only been in the WWE for like about a year and a half or something at that point, hadn't he?
it was a couple of years, wasn't it? I think he was
Yeah.
in Evolution for about a year at this point. But this is the year where he started to go into his own. You know, this is setting up matches with Mick Foley and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So really, really, really good showing from Randy as well. Obviously,
No, definitely.
Chris Benoit.
Well, with Orton, he lasted 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He lasted 35 minutes only to end up getting distracted. Well, no, only to end up getting kamikaze by Foley because Foley took he took him out and himself out, didn't he?
Yeah. So he took Test out backstage, didn't he? Test was supposed to enter at number 21. And then you go to the backstage and you see Test knocked out on the floor and Stone Cold's giving it beans going, "You're going to have to go out then." And everyone's like, "Yeah, who's this going to be?" And then Foley's music hits. Randy's selling of that music hitting was superb.
Oh, no, that's it. Like, he looked like he'd seen a ghost or something.
Literally, like, he proper panicked. And it's like,
Was it Orton who put him out? So, like, I've got here, like, Mick Foley returned. Like, was he out or something before that point?
Yeah.
Or something because
it was when Mick Foley had been fired from Raw, and Randy Orton gozzied on his face on the way out the door. You know, he was doing a Legend Killer run, wasn't he?
Yeah. And he was calling himself the Hardcore King or whatever as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think this is when he kicked him down the stairs backstage as well. He kicked him down the stairs at one point, like punted him in the head, and he rolled down the stairs.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so this obviously leads into Randy Orton versus, Evolution versus the Rock and Sock Connection at WrestleMania, and then Randy Orton versus.
I thought it was Orton versus Foley myself, but then that was the Mania after, wasn't it?
No, that was Backlash.
Oh, was it Backlash? Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I had a few there somewhere down there, like, but.
Yeah, Backlash 2004. We got Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack in a hardcore match.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorite matches.
Oh yeah, just looking at some of my notes here.
Spike Dudley supposed to come out in number 13. Kane had been eliminated, seeing his ass, choke slams him on the ramp, and Spike doesn't never.
Yeah, Kane got eliminated because of the Undertaker gong, didn't he?
Yes, because this was
built gong went off, didn't he? And then he got eliminated by. Who did he get eliminated by?
It's like Booker T or someone.
Yeah, Booker T took him out. Yeah, Booker T took him out, and then as he was walking on, Spike Dudley's come out and he's just choke slammed him on the metal.
Yeah, he's blaming him for the Undertaker's music going off, wasn't he?
And I mean, even if you weren't blaming him, you know, it's just Spike Dudley, isn't it? He's fun. He's fun to throw around.
It's just got a choke slam him.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then there's another thing here as well. I had no idea that Matt Morgan was in WWE before TNA.
Didn't you?
That's one thing I completely forgot.
Yeah. He was in. He didn't really do a lot, and then he was in as Matt Morgan for a bit, and he didn't really do too much. Then he ended up with that stutter gimmick. He used to come out and he used to be like, Matt Morgan, and that was his gimmick. And he was F5ing people for some reason. He took Brock Lesnar's F5.
He was like Lesnar's like henchman, weren't he?
Yeah, so he ended up using the F5 when Lesnar obviously left to go and do the American football.
Yeah, when he with Heyman Morgan?
I'm not sure if he was a Heyman guy.
I could have sworn I had the commentary team yesterday saying about it.
He might have been part of. Remember they done like the team Brock Lesnar team Kurt Angle, where he
had
Shelton Pass and that. He might have been part of that because they had a good few multi-man tag matches, didn't he? Around that time, that was like 2003, I want to say. But we had in this as well is Goldberg coming out at number 30, which we already knew was going to be number 30 anyway, because he had won the match on the Raw previous to get the number 30 spot. and in comes Brock Lesnar from out of nowhere, not even in the match, slides under the ropes, F5s Goldberg, and then Goldberg gets eliminated.
Who do you, oh, fuck, I can't remember who got eliminated by him.
I don't know. I just keep on the same Booker T.
Yeah, I'll just say Booker T anyway. But yeah, no. And we'll go back. Obviously, we'll think, go to like the final four.
Yeah.
And in the final four with this one, you had Big Show, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle. Which again, I think that's a fucking very strong lineup. Obviously, massive. Big Show back in 2004. He weren't really treated. He might have been treated a bit of a comedy act, but he weren't treated as a joke.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it took even 6 people couldn't get him out of nothing. Yeah, you know, when all the entrants came in and that, like you had Jericho, Benoit, and Angle,
RVD,
and then
someone else, Hardcore Holly, maybe.
No, we're in Hardcore Holly.
Eddie wasn't in this.
No, he was. He didn't. He won a title at the Rumble, didn't he? Or
no.
Yeah, no, he was in between. Sorry.
Yeah. No, at the Royal Rumble, Eddie Guerrero was facing Chavo Guerrero. They had a match against each other.
Last one was Cena. It was Cena. So you had Cena, RVD.
This actually, I remember now. Now you've just said that. Do you remember when Big Show chucks John Cena over the ropes and Cena's leg goes
under?
Lad,
yes. Funnily enough, as that happened, my screen froze, so I got to see a full. I got to see the full. Oh, mate, that was dodgy. That.
It was dodgy as hell. Because they end up facing it at WrestleMania 20 for the US title. Yeah. Mainly because he nearly snapped John Cena's leg in half.
Yeah, no, that's it. Like I say, so big final four, very good final four. And when you look at Benoit as well, like going from 1st to 30, it's a big enough achievement in its own right. But it's not like some people just sit there, like they'll sit there and pretend to be here for like most of it. Like he never, every time someone was coming in, he was taking the brunt of most of all the attacks and stuff like that.
He's right.
From Big Show, from Kane, took all the biggest moves from pretty much every wrestler in there. Was in there for, like you said, over an hour. It got to the point halfway through the match where it was just him and Orton, even though they were 1 and 2.
They were super. Yeah.
So like I say, he didn't really have no room for rest, Benoit. So to be able to still get that kind of performance out of it was amazing.
And he also broke the record for longest being in the Royal Rumble for the longest amount of time in previous 1993 by Bob Backlund.
It's been broken again now, hasn't it? But
yeah, it was broken 2 years later, actually, by Rey Mysterio.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because he died as well.
Ray was in number 2 and won that one because it was after Eddie obviously passed away the year in between.
Yeah, well, it was a no-brainer. Ray was getting that one that year.
Well, he wanted to give it to Chavo and he said no, didn't he? So
yeah, and Chavo wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been as accepted as what Rey Mysterio would have been.
I think Ray was going to always end up as a world champ one way or another.
Yeah, Chavo didn't have it.
No.
I like him, but he was never someone you'd consider like a world champion.
No, definitely not. Until Kane gets his hands on you.
18 seconds, man.
Yeah. So Chris Benoit last eliminates Big Show by sliding him over the top rope, puts him in like a headlock, and then pulls him over and slips himself back in. Big Show being runner-up again. He was runner-up to The Rock when The Rock won it way back when. So Big Show, again, another guy who's been in these Royal Rumbles for years and never come close to winning one either. Come close, but never win one.
You think he'd have like a good elimination record as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he probably does. I mean, if you looked into it, to be honest with you, he could have done with getting that up as well. But in this one, the most eliminations was joint between number 1, Chris Benoit, and number 2, Randy Orton. They both had 6 eliminations each in this match.
Well, I've got Benoit's eliminations here. He took out Bradshaw, Mark Henry, Rhino, Matt Morgan, A-Train, and Big Show.
Yeah, he took out JBL. JBL come in, didn't he? Well, he was before JBL.
Everyone got taken out.
Yeah, goes for the clothesline, and Benoit just goes, "Way!" and he goes out. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he took out Blue Mark Henry.
I
But for
tell you
Mark
what,
Henry and Blue just didn't go.
Blue Mark Henry.
You know what I
Blue
mean? It's like nah.
Blue T-shirt. But yeah, this was number one. But like I say, the main thing that sticks out for this is there's so much groundwork for WrestleMania 20. Obviously,
Yeah.
Benoit winning. You know, Randy Orton and Mick Foley, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. You know, there's so much groundwork.
Taker and Kane as well.
Yeah, so
Like
much groundwork.
you'd argue there's about, I'd say, good part of 5 to 6 matches made from that one Rumble.
From this Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you had Benoit winning the Rumble, so you knew you were going to get a main event match anyway. You know what I mean? Obviously, and then the other 4, they all had like moments where you knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, you were hoping that was going to be the payoff at the end of it, wasn't it? Brilliant, yeah. So that is our top 5. So as always,
before we finish, Curtis the Cat.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Is it Ernest? I couldn't tell if it was Ernest or Curtis.
No, Ernest the Cat Miller.
What the fuck were they doing putting him in there?
Somebody call my mama, baby. I love
it. Like, Taz just kept going in and he's like, oh, he needs to go call his mama. You know what I mean? He tried to get that joke to land so many times.
Was it Chris Benoit who goes to throw him out and flings his wig off by mistake?
Yeah, he throws the wig off instead. It weren't Ernest, it was his manager. Or he takes out him and then he takes out the manager.
He goes, "Oh, the wig's been eliminated." It's like, oh my God.
In fact, to be fair, when you think about it, that's 7 eliminations for Benoit, isn't it?
The wig.
Yeah.
He pips short and by 1.
Yeah, nah. I'm in heavily. I can't speak. What the? I just froze. What the fuck?
So, don't worry about it.
Yeah, nah. I say that's a solid top 5. To be fair,
I agree. And let us know.
Everyone's going to have their own opinions and their own inputs based on how old they are, when they watched and stuff like that. But I don't care.
Let us know in the comments section if you agree or disagree with our top 5. Let us know your top 5 Royal Rumble picks. Is there any that you think we've missed out? Is there any that we maybe should have included instead? But even let us know.
Go in your favourite moments. You know what I mean? Your top 5. You can just name off some of your favourite moments that you can remember from when you were a child or whatever. Like
Ernest the Wig Miller.
Yeah, exactly.
Top 5 moments. So yeah, like I say, as always, let us know in the comment section. And don't forget, Royal Rumble is coming up this week. Tune in and watch and see who is going to be the new winner of the Royal Rumble, or could we have an old winner? Like I say, Cody Rhodes could win back to back. Also, it'll be interesting to see who is the longest running in it and who has the most eliminations too. Probably going to do a predictions for the Royal Rumble at some point.
One as well.
Which
surprise entrance for this year's want to be?
Yeah. We've already got that one penciled in for later in this week. Surprise entrance. So let us know, as I say, in the comments, and don't forget, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as there is so many people that are watching that still have not yet subscribed. So don't forget to hit that little subscribe button.
2 seconds, people.
2 seconds. 1, 2. That's it. So that is me, Ryan. I'm heading out, and that is all we have for today. So see you later, Lee.
Ryan, take care. See you later, everyone.
Nice one for coming on.
No worries.